What's going on, world?
Hey everybody, how you doing, babe?
I'm doing good. How you?
I'm good. Back from spring break. Reality has struck, and so a little sad, but I'm all right.
I mean, listen, you got like 2 more months left.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a long 2 months.
Nah, you got it.
You never taught middle school in the spring.
You
It's
right.
not.
You're right. I agree with that, but still, the finish line is there.
It is, but yeah, it's gonna be a long stretch. It's a long walk to freedom.
No, I definitely can understand that. And for any new listeners, I'm your guy TJ,
And this is Dani.
and this is another episode of Lovers Quarrel. We want to thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thank you again.
And today's going to be a dope episode.
A very special episode.
Yeah, we got a special guest, Mr. J Hill.
What's going on, man?
So,
Thank you for being here.
No problem.
He's going to join us today. He's going to help us through this episode.
Exactly. I'm excited because TJ introduced me to who you were, so I'm really I'm glad I got this opportunity to get to know you. So with that being said, let's jump right in. So as always, y'all, we got our vent of the week.
Okay.
I have my vent lined up. Do you?
No, go ahead. Ladies first.
All right. So, and again, feel free to chime in, Jay. So I hate when and I get it happens to me all the time because I teach middle school, but when people who will ultimately end up needing you, why don't give me your ass to kiss, or don't give me your ass to kiss because somebody else did something to you. So that's a really a big peeve of mine. I hate misdirected anger. Like if you're mad or you're frustrated with somebody or something or whatever, you have every right to be upset with them. But then when I come into the picture, don't turn around and then treat me some type of way because somebody else did something to you. And it took me a long time to I was like that too growing up, and it took me a long time to kind of get better at that. But it really, really bothers me when I'm the recipient of misdirected anger. It pisses me off. If you're mad at me, then that's one thing. But if you're not, save that energy for somebody else. So I mean, it's a short and sweet one, but I really, really, really hate when people give you their ass to kiss, and then because I promise you, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna need me before I need you.
Right.
And when that comes around, then Dani
has
has
an example. I mean, I just want to get it. I'm a visual person, so I'm trying to get an understanding.
Well, for example, if you're upset with the next person, but then you need me to, time out. Am I talking about you? Like a time you gave me your ass to kiss?
Nah, I gave you my ass to kiss?
I'm sorry. Have we met? My name is Dani.
Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
It might be few months. It's like 14 years. You've given me we've both done it at some point.
I want to hear the story. Go ahead.
I mean, I can't give you exact specifics. It's happened so many times.
That's crazy to me. The lies you tell.
But look. So let's hypothetically.
Y'all been married for 14 years?
No, we've been together 14 years.
Married
5.
Oh.
And so we met we started really going together. I was a senior in high school and he was a junior.
Okay.
So but you're literally together 14 years. So during that time, hell yeah, you giving me your behind the
I feel
kiss.
like you're lying.
Okay. All right. Never lied.
Okay.
But hypothetically, if you did,
Mm-hmm.
and then you need me to babe, can you go pick up my dry cleaning?
Oh, you mean like that?
What?
Okay. I just want the visual. Okay.
Okay, so
I can agree with that.
You chew me out over text, but then
Be like, hey, can you go grab
when you need
dinner?
that, exactly.
I got you.
No, I'm not. I'm not hungry.
You're not hungry?
I probably am hungry, but I'm not because you trying to give me your ass to kiss.
I feel you.
So that's my van. I'm gonna pass it over or to our guest. Do you got anything you gotta get off your chest, or everything's hunky dory?
I don't know. Nah, what do I don't? I'm just I don't know. I'm really so passive, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen, I just be like, all right, whatever. But I hate being patient, I guess.
Okay.
That's one thing that I hate doing. I'm impatient.
You're impatient?
Yeah, I'm very impatient.
Got you.
That's fair. That's very fair.
So I hate having to wait, especially when if I think I can control something.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate being patient.
That's definitely very, very fair. I'm definitely the more patient one between the two of us.
I'm impatient at times. It depends on what it is. We driving, I can get impatient. Let's go.
It's funny because everybody say I'm so patient.
But you're like, maybe it's like on the inside, you're
like on the inside, like for example, like just with my work and everything I do, so it's like just trying to get to that next level. I'm so impatient, but people don't know that. Yeah. But on the inside, it's burning me up. Yeah,
so. I guess, and plus like the line of work in, it's a lot of like hurry up and wait. Like you kind of like you make like a stride, but then it's like, okay, I gotta sit here for a minute.
Yep,
and
that's
then,
exactly what it is.
Yeah, and then like kind of grind it out. I definitely understand that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm most impatient again when it comes to like my students because it's like, yo, come on, get to class, get this information. But outside of that, I'm more passive, like go with the flow with that. So, but that's fair. Impatient or patience or having a weird thing can definitely set a person off. And Mr. Byerson,
I have so many different thoughts and ideas.
You got a lot to complain about?
Yeah, a whole bunch of these different thoughts. You know, I feel like domestic violence is probably going to be my event of the week. You know, the whole Fabulous thing came out.
Oh, man.
And
yeah,
last episode,
that's problematic.
I'm like, listen, we don't know the story. And then that video came out, and it was crazy, you know. I could never imagine yelling at my father-in-law the way he yelled at his father-in-law, threatening him, and you know, you can't come back from that. And you know, we still don't know all the details, but to me, something is there.
I mean, honestly, what is it to know? If she said he knocked her teeth out, who lie about that?
Yeah, like you can't really like.
There are people who lie about things.
Sidestep about that.
So that's why. No, I get that, but I'm saying there are people who lie about things, and then when it comes out later, then it's like his reputation is already ruined because we lied about it. So that's my thing. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but the way that video, it's like, yeah, this. There's a level that didn't look normal.
There's some rage there.
Do you think we want to give him the benefit of the doubt because it's Fabulous though?
No, I don't.
I mean, I don't really care that it's Fabulous.
I think a lot of people have a hard time like reconciling his like the persona that we've always known for all these years because he's always been such like a cool, collected, even keel kind of guy. Like you know, and then to see like when I saw the video, you know. Legitimately, I mean, I don't know him obviously, but it's like I don't think I've ever heard him raise his voice. Right. So I think that's like where people had a hard time kind of putting those two together. But you know, somebody said the other day when we were talking about it, and they were like, because I thought about like, I'm like even when like the stuff like remember a couple years ago, like the stuff with Ray J happened, and then Ray J called into the Breakfast Club, and he was like, I got an indoor pool and outdoor pool, and that's like that whole thing was about him like having a beef with Fab. And Fab was like making jokes and this, that, and the other, and like not taking it that serious. And somebody said to me, they were like, you know, in his experience, the type of guys that do, you know, are aggressive or violent or towards women, they don't keep that same energy with guys because they know that they're not like, because they're pussy. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to have that type of anger, aggressiveness that they have with their lady, like with other men who could actually like take them. Right. And so, you know, it's scary and it's unfortunate, and like
I got a daughter now, so my outlook looks a little bit different.
Everybody gotta die.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm honestly, I don't even understand how like because the pops. I just don't think you can hold me back if something like that happens to my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's there is no coming back from that. So that's my biggest thing. I just hope that I hope that men understand that they're women. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have more force. You don't have to knock her out. You don't have to put hands on her. Right. You know what I mean? Now she's hitting you and you need to protect yourself. I'm for that. But you can protect yourself without having to put hands on a woman.
I understand.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if you really want to harm her, go fight her brother. Like, you know what I mean? Go fight a cousin. And that was fair. But to put hands on a woman, to put hands on your woman is crazy to me. Right. And you know what I mean? The way he talked to his father-in-law, like the threatening him, the kid screaming in the background. Yeah, that just made me. It kind of spaced me out because again, after having my daughter, I kind of look at shit a lot differently, and I'm like, what would I do if this was Tatum? You know what I mean? And I couldn't imagine having to deal with that. I couldn't imagine having to try to console my daughter because her man's beating on her. No, but she's in love with him, and this is just a vicious cycle. Like, I mean, all I can do is hope that I teach her the right way to understand that she don't got to stay with that. But there's so many people who do, and that's just scary to think about. You know what I mean? So that's my event of the week. I just think that, you know, domestic violence is never okay, and I think it's just whack. So
I agree.
Try to bring it down.
It's all right. Listen, it was kind of it's on everybody's minds this week, so it is what it is. Well, moving right along, we're going to try and bring it back up a little bit.
I don't think that doesn't look like it's going to be back up, but go ahead.
I mean, it is.
Go ahead.
It is.
Go ahead. Be great.
He's trying to hate on my relationship tip of the week.
Oh, man.
I'm not.
So, you know, like we were saying, like, you know, we've been together for a while, so we've got a little bit of experience in as far as like how to stay together anyway. And I think it's just appropriate for just kind of, well, not for TJ's vent, because my words were not, they're going to sound crazy now, because my tip was sometimes you just got to duke it out, but not like that. But
I get that.
I don't mean
no
physically. No pun intended. I didn't mean
intended.
physically duking it out.
Hey,
I mean,
as
like
I said to everyone last episode, you the violent one. You the one I got to watch out for. And I mean, I'm
not proud of my moment.
All right, exactly. You the violent one.
Moment or two. But
or three.
Listen, I'm not proud, but you handled yourself very well. And we were very young. We were younger. I'm not old. But
you are old.
Shut up. We were younger. And, yeah. So I punched TJ, like, 2 days before he proposed to me.
She did.
That's how he knew he wanted to marry me still. Because he made me really mad. Like, really, really mad. Anyway. So, not physically duking it out, y'all, listeners. But in a relationship, like, we talk to y'all about how to keep things, you know, keep it lively, keep it happy, keep it fun, keep it interesting. But we're still human beings. We're still two individuals who have two different perspectives and opinions on things, who look at things differently. And what ends up happening is that, you know, you're going to have conflict. You're going to disagree. You're going to find that you don't see eye to eye on stuff. And with that being said, like, literally, like, sometimes you just gotta argue. Like, you know, like, sitting on your hands. Like, I'm really bad with these analogies right now. So, like, just biting your tongue. Let's say that. Right. Biting your tongue doesn't always work. I'm a firm believer in picking and choosing my battles. No. I pick and choose them all the time being married to this guy.
Whatever.
And
I'll take that. I want to go through it. Listen, we got a problem. Let's go through it, and then we can move on. Because when you hold it all in, you're just going to be bottled. And then I'm going to be playing with you one day, and that's going to trigger something, and you explode, and now we at a level 10 when this could have been avoided.
Yeah,
and you go through the issue, then and you move on.
And that's why the tip of the week is that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes you do have to just kind of go through it, air it out, put it all on the floor.
I say all the time.
And then move. That way you can move on from it.
This could that could for real be the quarrel. Because, like, I feel like you should go through it all the time. Anytime you have a problem, we can revisit
this at the end of this show.
We could. I'm just saying, anytime you have a problem, you should talk it out. Again, I'm just a big believer that we never know what's going to happen next. So if you want to wait and now me and you are beefing, something happens to you or something happens to me, and the last time we talked, we were beefing, like...
I understand, but I also feel like it's just that would... Or maybe because I'm married to you, like, that'd be a lot of talking we'd be doing.
That's crazy to me.
That
is so crazy to me. You got it.
We're going to revisit this at the end of the show. That's going to be like we're going to have a part A and part B to our Lovers Quarrel. But I think that pretty much sums it up. I used poor choices of words for this relationship tip of the week, but bottom line is that sometimes you do have to argue or you have to disagree.
As you said, you got to duke it out.
That's before I knew the event of the week, so don't judge me.
But... They know your heart. They know it's nothing
exactly.
negative. So.
I'm a very sweet person. So, that's that. Let's move on. And as you've already heard, we've got a guest with us. So we're not going to do any listener letters today. We're going to talk to our guy here. And I'm going to throw it to the hubster over here so he can do a formal introduction.
All right, so he's gonna help me out with this. So Jay Hill went to Morgan. He's a Q from Morgan.
Yep.
So the first time I seen Jay was he did Mr. 1908 pageant. He was hosting
at Towson.
Yeah.
Wow.
So seen him there, and then I'm cool with BA and the bros there. So I seen Jay a lot. And just seen him around Towson, Morgan, and he was moving. And because he's Greek, he was on Greek Shenanigans. He's like an ambassador for them. So I just always see, seen him working, and then I started following him on Twitter, and then I just seen like a lot of their posts, and I was like, yo, his story's dope. I always seen that you were really open about who you were,
right?
Your life, your struggles, and I thought that was a dope idea. So many people go through things and they don't talk about it,
right?
But you never know what the next person is going through.
That's a fact.
So the fact that you're open, for me, even though I didn't go through the same struggles as you, it still helps to see like people go through struggles,
right?
So I seen that. I told my wife, listen, I want to get him on. I reached out to my bro Terrence, and he linked us up, and we got Mr. J Hill, y'all.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, thank you. So I want to say that I'm not Greek enough to be accepted. Does Greek Shenanigans still only allow you if you are Greek?
I mean,
Greek Shenanigans. You gotta tell them that you're Greek.
Because I'm not Greek. Because I always laugh about that. Because I did try to follow and they were like, no.
I don't even follow Greek Shenanigans anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what made you stop?
Avery is my homie. Don't get me wrong, but Greek Shenanigans itself is just like it's corny. Like I don't really like it. Like it's like they just show a bunch of negativity. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy you say that. So I was speaking to my LB about that the other day, and I was saying like
Avery is cool though.
They post a lot of stuff that I feel like you don't have to post on there, but you're doing it for the likes.
That's what it sells. Yeah.
And the conversations, but some of the stuff like if someone don't know about Greek life and they say something inappropriate, I would reach out to them first.
Right.
And then if they come out with like a dickheaded response or whatever, then you're outing them. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But to kind of make somebody look like a fool and they don't even know.
Yeah. Most of the times people don't even be knowing.
Yeah. And that's kind of what turns people off to the whole Greek life. You know what I mean? They think we're a cult, think we're a gang or whatever. And it's bigger than that.
Clicks.
But you have people that kind of make them a fool.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and social media, you definitely, it's just but you got more opportunities to look silly, and with a larger audience.
That's true.
But with that being said, Jay, we want to open up the platform for you. Just tell us, a little bit about yourself. What do you want the people to know about who you are and what you're about? I
mean, you really said it. You feel me? Like everything I want the people to know, you pretty much know. I'm a big believer in not being stingy with your story, because I just feel like if you be stingy with your story, you can be taken away from somebody else, and that's just that's selfish. And I try to live my life as selfless as possible. So a lot of things I do is for somebody else to help them out, because I feel like I ain't had that for me.
True that. And forgive me, where are you from originally?
I'm from Baltimore.
Okay, yeah. I hear it, but I didn't want to assume.
Nah, I'm from Baltimore. I'm from McCullough Homes.
Projects.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people know that, but then like a lot of my new audience don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Your accent's not like the heaviest. It's there. I hear a little twinge of it, or maybe you just kind of
A lot of people say that. They be like, "Where you from?"
Yeah.
I'm like Baltimore. They be like, "You're not from Baltimore." I'm like, "Why?" Because I pronounce the T.
Yeah. I get that from being from New York. They're like, "You don't sound like you from New York." And I'm like, "Why?" Because I don't talk like this. So.
I'm sorry. I got a college education. I apologize.
Well, one question I have for you is, TJ was kind of like, again, he introduced me to who you were, and I was, doing my little bit of research and whatnot, and like TJ was saying, you have a really interesting and in some ways like a tumultuous like history kind of upbringing and things like that as far as some experiences you've had. And how do you feel like that your history, how do you feel like that kind of helped make you into the person you are today, or how is it helping you work towards the person you know, the fully like realized version of yourself?
Mm-hmm. So when you say my history, like my personal history, like the things that I've witnessed,
the things that you witnessed, the things that you've gone through, yeah, like kind of just I kind of wanted to leave it open ended so you can answer however you take it.
I mean, like just my upbringing, you know, it taught me a lot as far as like who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the simple fact, like we talking about women, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's about relationships. It's a platform about relationships. So like my mom, she raised me, and I would never want my child to be raised by a single parent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's one of my heavy morals. You know what I'm saying? So I would always want to have my wife and show my kid how to treat a wife. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a girl or boy, show my daughter how she should be treated. Show my son how he should treat his wife. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom's like, she was raped. You know what I'm saying? Like I want my kid to know that, look, this is how you do. And the same like with that, I want people to know that like it don't matter what your story was before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It don't. Like when we was kids, I got in so many fights. I got suspended from like 6 different elementary schools just for fighting, because like people calling my mom's a junkie or whatever. So I just wanted to defend her. But like that stuff don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
So you that kid.
Yeah. Like even to college, I still was that kid. I still didn't learn my lesson. So like I learned my lesson late. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
like just from the past, and sometimes mistakes are like made constantly over, and it's like if you don't learn from your mistake, they say you what they say, if you
insanity.
Yeah, you're insane. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you don't learn from your mistake, you essentially insane. So I guess I was insane for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the mistakes I made was the same ones over and over and over again. But to answer your question, like just things that I learned from my history is like I'm still learning.
Yeah. Like
yesterday was history. You know what I'm saying? Like that's true, because there's a lot of things that I might have seen that I was young that I see now, but I see it in a different light. Like we talk about being Greek, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the poems I learned when I was online, I really didn't understand them when I was online. I thought I understood, but it wasn't until I was done and I was in my life, my real life, was I'm thinking about Invictus. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about and I'm like, wow, like that means something. But then at that time, I'm just saying it just to get through. So I feel like a lot of times I'm just now learning stuff at 26 that I was going through at 11 and 12, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now that I'm old enough to look back on it and be like, wow, like this is what happened, and I can change it like this, and I don't want somebody else to go through that.
Yeah, you got like the maturity to kind of like that's come over time to really like be able to understand like, okay, this is why that wasn't the right thing to do, and this is why like these are why these poems are like what they're about. And I can understand that, because you know I was 19 when I was online, and I'm 30 now, and I feel like there are moments and things that I've dealt with in my adulthood that really like that's when like my experiences with my line sisters and my experiences like just like as far as like how to deal with people with different personalities, how to persevere when things are difficult. Because I mean everything, you know, just even in this last fall, like I had everything coming at me sideways. Like I'm a new mom, I'm a wife, my dad was sick, and you know I'm a teacher, I'm in grad school, like, and so I was like, it's like the pressure's on. And so I get like how you're saying like sometimes you don't realize, like you're saying things to say in the beginning, you don't really internalize what it means until you're out in the real world. And there's so many instances of like how things that I learned being, you know, in college and Greek that really didn't like hit home until I'm a full-fledged like adult
right.
And but it's taught me how to like move as an adult. So I definitely can understand that.
And definitely like life is like let's call it like a folder or like a drawer. With, like, you know how you have people that work in offices and they have these drawers with different folders in them. Yeah. So let's say life is like a drawer, right, with different folders in it, and folders is like the chapter of your life, right? And I really just thought about this. So like, let's say you went through something at 16 or something like that, right? And now you 30 years old, hypothetically, you're 30 and you're going through something, and where you get your strength from, I believe, is the folders that's in the drawer of life. You know what I'm saying? The chapters of life. So it's like, okay, I'm going through this, but I've been through this before. And you go to that drawer, you pull out this folder like, yo, I got through it this time, so that gives me the strength to get through it this time. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like that's how life is. And as long as you can hold on to your past and what's in your history, you can always continue to make great strides towards your future.
That's a great analogy. I like that.
That's
like,
so
you know, you got to listen. You're like, damn, I know I did this happen to me before. Like,
I'll be alright, man. I was all right right here. So
exactly. Like, let's go back to September, 97. I get it.
With that, growing up, did you think that you would be where you're at today? Like, looking back at who you were, like, did you say I would be here?
Alright, so a lot of people swear I'm cocky. I'm not cocky. I just think I'm confident. But so to answer your question, there's two answers. I say no and yes.
Okay.
So no, because I literally just got into radio. A lot of people don't know that. Like, I literally just got into radio. Before I got into radio and hosting, I wanted to play football. You know what I'm saying? I just knew I was going to be a professional footballer. You know what I'm saying? I played college ball, and then things just
didn't work.
Yeah. So just like football, I just knew I was going to play NFL, professional ball. When I started hosting, I just knew I was going to be like that guy hosting. I didn't know what. So it's kind of no and yes, because at the same time when I started hosting, I didn't even want to do radio. Like, I was never like, I always thought I was that guy, honestly. Like, I still believe that I'm that guy, but not in a disrespectful or like.
I mean,
you just kind of know. It's
okay to be confident.
Yeah, it's not. When I say,
you have like a strong sense of self.
Yeah, when I say that guy, I don't mean like I'm better than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But I just know I am that good in whatever I'm going to do or will do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like when I started hosting, I didn't want to do radio because I knew I was a guy. Now think about it. Me knowing I'm that guy, I don't want to interview nobody else. Like, I don't care about what anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even about I don't care about what nobody else is. It's like I think I'm so good in what I do that I want to be sat down and interview all the time. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody brought the thought about radio, I'm like, nah, I'm not really into doing the radio thing because I don't care about nobody else like to interview them. So to answer your question, I guess I would say no because now I'm on the radio and I interview hundreds of people. I'm always asking them questions about their lives. I'm digging deep into them, and it's funny that I'm being interviewed because now this is the foreign thing. I'm being interviewed like now this is foreign. I'm like, wow, I'm on the other end of it, but this is what I wanted to be from the jump. But I end up being the one interviewing people. Gotcha. So it's like, I mean, I never thought I'd be right there, but as far as just the humble guy I am, I don't know, because I strive to be this every day. It's not like something that just came up out of nowhere. I didn't just get this platform. You can say I work hard for this. So it's like for me to say no is like to shoot all the people I work with in the foot. You know what I'm saying? That's like I'm down and them because like I work hard for this.
It's not like it fell into your lap.
Yeah, like I work hard for this. Like don't get it. Like I really every day, even with forget radio, like just being the person I am. That you say when people commend me and like give me like compliments, I work hard to be a good person. Like it ain't nothing. I just wake up like, hey, what's up, y'all? Something happened, I walk away. Like I really work hard. There's a lot of tears that go behind that. So like I really work hard to be a good person. So like it's like no, because I never knew I would be doing what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But yes, because like I really work hard to be a good person and to be good in what I do.
Gotcha.
I think it's a very good response to that. Like I get exactly what you mean, and what you were saying like at first with like how you didn't really see the point, or like you were like, why am I talking to other people when I have a story to tell? Do you feel like do you feel like people listening to other people's story, interviewing people, getting to the bottoms of their lives, has that helped you or inspired you? Like, has that changed your perception on things, or has it like changed your like have you felt impacted by sometimes the stories of others that you've heard?
Of course, there's people out there I've heard stories and I felt a direct impact, but for the majority, honestly, just being in the field I'm in, I feel like a lot of people are in it for their own reasons, and I don't think their reasons are the same as my reason. Okay. If that makes sense. Now, there's a lot of good people out there, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who do have the same reason and approach as I do, but for the majority, I don't think the majority lines up with me. However, it's people that get to different crowds. You know what I'm saying? You might have to get to a different crowd in a different type of way and a different type of approach. So, I mean.
Okay. Is there somebody like do you have like a dream interview, like somebody that you would want to
talk
to?
Somebody look up to you or somebody?
No, like somebody like you, not that you look up to, but like there's somebody you want to like get in front of you to just like ask them the tough questions.
Oh man, I don't know, cause I just.
But so think about it, marinate on it.
It's really hard because I don't think nobody's better than anybody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I said it to say, same with me. I don't think nobody's better than me. I don't think I'm better than nobody. So it's like I really look at everybody as equal. Okay. It just takes some time to get on that same platform. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, far as interviewing people, like it's people that I think is dope. Like Tekashi 6ix9ine, I would love to interview him because like I feel like he kind of like me because my story, a lot of things I say, people take it the wrong way or they get something total opposite of what I was trying to say. So I would love to interview Tekashi, you know what I'm saying? Because I can
see that being interesting.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I see what he be trying to say and people don't say. I would love to interview like just Diddy and Jay-Z just so people can know like, yo, we're black and we're making money and we work hard for this. I don't think people 50 Cent. I would love to interview 50 Cent because I don't think people understand the hard work that he put in to get into that. I mean, he's showing me Steve Harvey. Like, Steve Harvey's somebody that I look up to. Mm-hmm. But as far as, like, interviewing Steve Harvey, I mean, I don't know. I would love to have a show with Steve Harvey. Like, I don't want to interview Steve Harvey. Like, you know what I mean? I want, like, let's have a show. You know what I'm saying? That's where everybody, so it's like, I'm not, even now, it's like, I'm not really big on interviewing people, but it's like let's rap. Like, let's talk. Like, like
this trying to, like, dope. Make moves with somebody.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell myself all this. If I see 50 Cent or Lil Wayne, I don't know, I'll probably come out the room being a millionaire because like I'm giving them ideas. Like first thing I'm telling 50 is like, yo, bro, look, let's go to Jay-Z route. Forget stars. Let's make our own network and put power on whatever network it is and tell people that they can't look at power unless they got this network. You feel me? Like I just
title,
like,
but for cable.
Yeah, like why you ain't think of this 50? Like come on now, Jay-Z got title and they doing this for title. I know damn sure they gonna do it for power because everybody and their mother love power. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like that's what I'm looking at. Like.
I can see, and and I mean, doesn't mean it's maybe not in the works, but I could definitely understand that, and I think that's dope. That, and it's interesting to hear you talk like that because I am someone who. Like TJ always kind of makes jokes about like he's like you're so content, like he said you're so happy, like. Cause it's not that I'm not motivated. Cause like I said, like I bust my ass at my job. I'm in school. I'm doing those things. But I also like sometimes like maybe I'm not as like gung ho about things. Cause I'm like okay, it'll come in due time. But like I can appreciate like the hustle. Like I think that's the thing. Like I don't have like a hustle mentality, and I can see that like. I would use that word in like the most positive way to describe you and that's why I think maybe like you said in the beginning like you have that kind of impatience part of it about you because you just ready to like you got $1 billion ideas and you just trying to like
you need the opportunity
like just need, like you gotta get in the room.
Like I wish that I had that though, like what you said you have like just that enjoy the moment because a lot of people I don't think that's a great attribute to have like that I think so many people take for granted because I don't think I enjoy the moment because I'm always on the go. I'm always thinking of new ideas. I'm always trying to create something new and like be better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't ever sit back and be like, let me just enjoy what I have right now. I feel like the fact that you had that is like
sometimes you gotta take a step back. You gotta look around and be like, damn, I did this. And then you can put your nose back. You can put your nose back to the keep your eyes, get the blinders on, and get back to it. But it's I do feel like there's nothing wrong with like looking up and sometimes just being like, you know what?
No, that's dope. Like I think I was with I did that one time like last week. I was talking to my friend.
That one time last week.
I was talking to my friend Keenan or whatever, and the Keenan system and like being in the same room when we just like sharing ideas, and I'm like, wow, like. Yo, look at us, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. And I think it's because I was in the room with other, like-minded individuals. And because all the time I'm always, like, just on my own, like, on the go, talking to my videographer. Like, I'm just, like, you know what I'm saying, trying to make moves. I never really sit down and just be, like, other, just, socialites or whatever, like, public figures and things. And I think I'm in this room, I'm like, wow. People that I actually known for years that I seen grow, and I'm like, yo, like, look at us. Like, I know we think, we ain't nowhere, but like it's people out there like somewhere that think we probably the biggest people in the world, and it's like the fact that it's even one person out there that think that is just crazy. Like coming from where we come from, like that's amazing. Yeah. That's different.
And I mean to kind of piggyback off it all, that's kind of where my question came from. Growing up, I was considered the bully. You know what I mean? I was bigger than everybody. And I was always taught, someone hit you, hit them back. Mm-hmm. But my hit was going to be heavier, you know what I mean? But I was the bully. Like, kids was told, their parents told them, you can't hang with TJ, And for me to be where I'm at today, I would have never thought that. Like, I knew I had to go to I knew I was going to finish high school and I was going to finish college. Because that's what my mother said I had to do.
Right.
It's like, you staying with me, you living with me, that's what you have to do. But, moving to Maryland, I would have never thought that was a possibility. Finding my love, I'd have never thought. You know what I mean? So I do look at that. I do try to embrace those moments. Like, damn, we here. But I also have the same, like, I'm doing a job that I'm cool doing, but it's not my passion. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to find ways to get into my passion. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm getting the degrees and I'm going to school. It's not coming. So the impatient side of me is like, yo, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do.
Like, hurry up.
And it's not coming.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, okay, that's when I got to kind of like talk to myself, Right. Try not to go crazy. Because you can really go crazy. Like, I've had days where I'm like stressed. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just thinking about like the next move. Like, I'm not doing enough. And, my wife may be like, you're good, like, calm down. Or, I may call my mom, like, yo, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And she'll start telling me shit that I'm doing. I'm like, you're right, my fault. Let me try to be impatient. So I get that.
But what I love, like, right, and it's probably, people see in us, like, what we don't see in ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. Like, the best thing, like, the biggest thing that I look, right, is the fact that you're married. The fact that you have a child, a daughter, and you take care of your family. The fact that you can call your moms and be like, Mom, I'm impatient. Because, like, honestly, if I'm upset at things, I don't call my moms. I keep it to myself. But the fact that you can call your moms, not saying I can, but the fact that you do, I look up to that. Like, the fact that you got a wife, I look up to that. And that y'all together, and, like, somebody asks me, like, who I look up to, I tell them Steve Harvey. And I be like, the men that's out here setting good examples for their families. Because, like, creating a new cool. I'm big on this thing called creating a new cool. And, like, what's cool now is dudes out here having mad girls, you know what I'm saying, doing that thing. And it might sound cliche or it might sound corny to a person that's listening, but on some, it's real. Like, niggas out here, like, they think that's cool. And I'm like, yo, nah, what's really cool is having a wife and taking care of your family, like, and showing them that it's another way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that you're doing that, to me, is the dopest thing. And the fact that y'all got this together is, like, that's lit. Like, I appreciate honestly, that. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, that's I
like
lit.
the new cool though. I want to be a part of the new cool.
Yeah, like I'm trying to create this. You feel me?
I've never been that. Like, so the biggest thing that I think helped with me and Dani was that I seen the troubles that the other men in my family went through. You know what I mean? Like, juggling mad women and getting caught and having to, like, lie or try to talk their way out of it, and then it's a cycle. It's just like that stress. I never wanted that stress.
I'm good off.
You know what I mean? And then when you find somebody who you can relate to, work with, then it's like, all right, I'm just gonna rock with this. You know what I mean? You'll see other, like with Dani, I can see another chick and I'd be like, she fat, right? And she'll be cool with that. So there's no temptation there. But I think for me, it's just seeing what other people had and the issues that people go through. People get diseases, all this other shit. People have mad kids, and having a child now, I will say it's been a tough adjustment for us because it's different. It's always just been me and her. But having a child, I can get it. But I couldn't imagine not seeing my daughter every day. Like, I couldn't imagine not waking up and being able to see my daughter. Like, oh, it's Friday, I pick her up today. Like, I couldn't imagine going through that. So that's another thing that kind of motivates me. But I think the new cool is dope. No, I think because everybody, honestly, because everybody wants to be what everybody else is, instead of just like being who you are is cool. You don't have to try to fit in if that's not who you are. Don't lose yourself trying to fit in when what you're doing could be cool. Like, so I think that's dope. I think that's super dope.
I just feel like, see, me, I'm all about adjustment and like adaptation. Like, so it's like, some people would disagree, but it's like, it is what it is. So I see this post on Instagram that says people don't support talent, they support popularity, right? And I'm like, okay, if you talented and they don't support talent, get popular. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's people that it's people out here who do follow the trend or whatever. That's why I call it creating a new sense of being cool. So it's like, okay, if people follow the trend, let's create the trend. Let's create this new trend of being faithful. Let's create this new trend of taking care of kids. Because there's no way in hell that people equate black men and not taking care of their kids. Like, that's, if you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's some nigga shit. Or like, that's just what people equate it with. It should be, oh, dang, he don't take care of his kids? Oh, that's crazy. Like, it should be that. You know what I'm saying?
It should be like the normal.
Right, the norm is black niggas don't take care of their kids. Like, what type of norm is that? I don't want that to be the norm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not cool with that. So we create that cool of black men taking care of their families. And when I say their families, their wife, their children, I just feel like then the people that don't do it, they're like, oh, that's lit now? All right, let's follow that trend now. And then that's why I say creating this new sense of being cool. Like, this new cool.
Well, I guess by that standard, you real cool.
No. See, you the man lit. See?
You the guy. I think that, and I agree with it. I support it because, I mean, it's, and like he said, like, I think one of the things that always kind of worked for us is that we never worried about what other people were doing. We just kind of moved at our own pace, you know? And we didn't, because, you know, when we were 17, 18, 19 years old, you're talking about like college, like that's your prime time years, you know, to be doing, you know, like I joke, I'll be like, yo, he took all my thought years. Like, well, you know, I could like unapologetically do that, but, you know, do whatever I wanted. But I think it's just like, you know, when I left for school and when he came down here, and it was just like, look, I'm gonna just ride this thing till the wheels fall off. And they just never fell off. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and just like, I never, and maybe this goes back to me being able to be like content. Like I'm, you know, like I'm happy. So why am I gonna sit there and seek out something else just because something better could be out there when I'm happy right here?
Right.
And that's, I think, and so like, I want to emphasize, like, it's not complacent, it's content, it's happy. It's like not just like, okay, this is all I know, so that's it. It's just more like I like where I am, I like who I'm with, and so why am I gonna do anything? Like, I'm good. Like I'm really broke, don't fix it. Exactly. Like I'm good. Like I am A-okay. And I don't have the personality to play games. Like I just by being friends with people, not even gonna say women or men, just having friends of both sexes, I see all the drama. I've like, you know, of course, growing up and being in college, I've been on the phone calls with my, you know, my friend's man, and he's like, yo, your girl is crazy, and I'm like, I'm, you know, trying to play peacemaker. Yeah, you know, I'll always be paid. I will gladly. Well, back then, like, you know, I'll gladly do that. I'm like, but I'm so glad in the back of my mind. I'm like, I'm so glad this ain't me. But so being that we kind of shifted over to the relationship side. I'm
feeling it. Like I'm feeling the conversation.
Yeah, like you talked about kind of what you want the new cool to be, and kind of like what you're seeking out. What is, I guess, your, like, where are you as far as like what you're looking for in relationships right now? Like, I know, you know, you said you're not necessarily like in like a serious one right now. I mean, I'm not in a relationship. You know, okay. I don't have a girlfriend. I talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a girlfriend. Okay, so like, I mean, you said you're 26, so young. All right, don't, you know.
Don't play him like that.
I'm not.
That might say y'all been doing this thing for 14 years. So
yeah, I'm not saying look, we were 25 when we got married. So like, he just turned 25, and I was turning 26 that year, and so I thought you were about to call me old. Nah, I was about to fight you.
You already know you old.
So, listen.
All right. You already know you got some years.
Listen. Okay. Keep talking.
Go ahead.
But anyway, so I guess, what are you, like, do you put a timeline, and you have a timeline in your head? Like, I want to be married by the time I'm 30. Do you want to like have kids by a certain, like, where are you, or have you been like giving that any consideration?
Nah, man. I mean, you feel me? Like, I just want to be happy. Gotcha. Whatever time that comes where I can be happy, and I want to be happy, and I want to be ready. You know what I'm saying? When I say ready is, I don't want to be I don't want to force it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to make my woman happy. Like you say, yo, I don't need to go nowhere else because I'm happy in my relationship. I want to be able to make my my woman happy. If it's my girlfriend, my fiance, my wife, I want to be able to make her happy and whatever that takes. So like, I don't know what that look like because clearly I ain't
there yet.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like whatever I have to be at in life, if it's uncomfortable or whatever, I just want to be there. So whenever that time comes, I guess it's there. You know what I'm saying?
True. I think it's very important that you said the word ready. Like ready.
I'm gonna say you're never gonna be ready.
Well, for
I can believe that though.
For what?
Just any.
Yeah, nothing.
I feel like no matter what, we can plan, we can do anything.
Of course.
But something can always happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can about to get married and she gets into an accident and now she's in a wheelchair. That changes everything. Doesn't mean that you don't love her, but it's going to be an adjustment. So my thing is, no matter what, you're never ready. Like, we planned us getting married. We planned having Tatum, but we weren't ready.
But I say that because y'all were happy though.
Yeah.
So y'all being happy makes y'all ready. I
I
a lot of people aren't really happy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are.
They pick
we
the
live
wrong
in a
people.
social media.
That was a
Instagram
post recently, like,
type life.
do you get married for love or happiness?
I saw the thing that the guy. It said,
Like,
I saw the thing.
People get married for business.
I saw the post that was like, guys rarely like marry the woman that they're really in love with. They marry to the woman that they're ready when they're ready to get married.
Most men don't marry the woman they love or love the most. They marry the woman that is around when they are ready to marry.
Right. Like I just feel like you can't set a time. You know what I'm saying? Like love is unexpected.
Right.
It might be you might think you have a type. You might fall in love with the total opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? You might think this certain type of woman is ugly, and you might fall in love with that. That ugly might become you're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I say I can't really speak on it. Like as long as God gonna know when it's right. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can
That's a good answer.
as long as I can make her genuinely happy, I'm fine. Like as long as she can make me happy, I can be myself unconditionally. She can be herself, is genuine, and we love each other for that. We don't try to change each other. It can be some girl from West Bummerford.
Everything kind of falls into place, and I think TJ makes a good point. Like you can never really be ready. Like, but I think you gotta find that person that you're kind of almost like ready to not be ready with. It's like you're like, okay, we don't know what the hell we doing, but I want to know. I want to be confused as hell with you.
I like that. That's
and
dope.
So I think like because and I laugh because he says that because like this guy, you would talk about hurry up and wait. Like
I was impatient.
He was so impatient. As soon as he proposed, he was like, let's set a date. I'm like,
yo.
I'm like, wait, like we were like
he like, nah, I need to spend the rest of my life with you.
So like, you a Q, he Alpha, I'm a Delta. He proposed to me like 10 days after he crossed.
It was.
Sheesh, for real?
Yeah. So
that's love right there.
So
damn, that's love.
Because when I went through the process, she held me down and that was kind of one of the things that made me say, yo, she's the one. You know, I feel like when we do it, something happens. You know what I mean? It's a situation that makes you say, oh shit, there's nothing else, So there was different instances in our life that Dani kind of made me feel like she's the one. When we was younger, she cleaned my room for me.
No, people don't. Y'all laugh.
And something as simple as that. But my thing was, she did it, and I didn't ask for it.
Boy, y'all laugh at that like.
So to me, that shit made me say like, oh, this is a different kind of woman. And then when I was going through the process, she held me down because there's some tiring nights, grades, like she was doing papers for me, and that helped me, keep my GPA up and all the other shit. But for me, it was like she was out of college, she had her career, and she's still helping me. Like she really do love me. So for that was kind of like fuck it. I'm gonna throw all my marbles and we're gonna see what's gonna happen, And I think that was it. But she has also helped me to be patient. You know what I mean? In my eyes, we was gonna get married like a year from there. We was gonna have kids by 25, and this was it. We didn't have our first child until what 28, 29.
Yeah.
So, she's helped me be able to be patient. Because sometimes I'm gonna shoot. Fuck it. When I play video games, I'm shooting. Everybody want to have strategies. When I'm playing with my guys, fuck this. We got how many lives? let me go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes
he try to shoot the dog. He try to shoot anything. He'd be like,
I'm going for it.
Everybody got to die.
Everybody gotta go. Yeah. I don't want to have to always plan. So she's my balance. She kind of reels me back in.
And I think that's huge, though. So I'm a Gemini, so I have.
What's your birthday?
June the 5th. That's the one thing I lack. Like,
bless your heart.
I don't have balance. So it's like when I'm this way, I'm all the way this way. When I'm that way, I'm all the way that way. So if I could find somebody to help me have balance, I think that would be huge, because a lot of times I just go hard and that's all I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, for example, when I ran track in high school, I used to run a 400 and I did the 800 like twice or whatever. And the 400 is a sprint, but you have to pace yourself. But me, I went out there and I sprinted the whole thing. And the last 100, I might be tired, but I done sprinted so hard, I'm probably already in front, and I will win. So that's all I know. I only know what works for me. So it's like that balance thing is a major key.
Yeah, the all or nothing is definitely. You got it. Like, you need some type of like middle ground sometimes. Like, it doesn't have to be. And he's like that too. Like, he's like, I always say, like, I'm like, TJ, if he's happy, he's ecstatic. If he's like upset, he's pissed. Like, it's never like just somewhere in the middle. And
it's hard.
And like, I'm always like, you gotta like relax. Like, you got like, but sometimes but at the same time, like, just like how he wanted to like turn around and get married as soon as we got engaged, and he wanted to have a baby right after that, and I was like, pump your brakes, like, no, like, we need, like, so for me it was like, we wouldn't have the wedding that we wanted, we wouldn't have the life we built and the child that we have now if we had done it his way, if we did like had been so impatient. But at the same time, on the flip, like, we wouldn't be homeowners right now if it wasn't for TJ kind of like pushing, because I was really hesitant about that, because I am like the chill one, the laid back one, because I'm like, yo, we're 23, like, we don't need a house, like,
that's the best thing you can have is your own property.
Yeah, so he was like, no, he was like, I want to own my own house, we can do it, and like he pushed and he pushed and he pushed and he pushed, and we have our own home, and like, and it's like, I start a home, and then in a couple of years we want to move into a bigger house, but that goes back to that balance, because sometimes like I'm so okay with the way things are, I'm so okay with like riding the wave, that like I need him to kind of push things along.
But you know what people overlook though? Like, balance is definitely a key, right? But to be able to communicate that balance to each other, like the fact that he wanted to get married right away, right? Like, no matter, you didn't want to, but you had to communicate that in a way for him to understand and for it to register. A lot of people, we want to balance each other out, but we don't know how to communicate it to somebody. We either say something and now they getting upset, or we saying something and they think we don't understand them. When it's like we trying to communicate our way of thinking. But the fact that you could communicate your way of, hey, I don't think we should get married this fast, and the fact that it registered to him makes it perfect. The fact that you didn't want to, because think about it, we all strong men and women. We black. Shit. That's one thing we can own. The word strong. You know what I'm saying? We all strong. So it's like we all strong individuals. We all have our way of thinking. We all are adults, and we have wisdom. And wisdom is things that you learn coming up. You know what I'm saying? And the way you learn coming up, you can't take that away from you. So no matter what somebody trying to do, is like, no matter what when somebody trying to change your mind, you only going to do things the way you learned it. So the fact that he wanted to buy a house and you like, nah, he could communicate that to you, for you to be like, nah, we gonna get this house. I feel like that's the biggest part, one of the biggest part of communication.
Yeah. And I mean, don't get it twisted. It wasn't always like the easiest pills to swallow when I told him how I felt, but
that's also why I'm a believer of having those conversations. Because my thing is
duking it out.
We duke it out. It may not be pretty, but now we got an understanding on that situation. And when that situation come back, like you said with the cabinet, we had this conversation before, or we blew up before. How did we get there? All right, well, we did it this way. All right, I'm gonna switch it this way. The other time we didn't talk for 2 days. Now we talking one day, and now the sixth time it happens, we're good.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So I think, as you were saying, communication is key. I'm big on communicating. Like, let's just get this shit out of the way.
And how you communicate too.
Effective.
Yeah. How you communicate.
Effective.
Definitely.
And that's hard. That's hard though. That's something that you have to kind of learn, because, for me, I get loud. I'm just a loud person. My personality is loud. So if I'm angry, I'm loud. And for some people, they may read it as you're screaming at me.
Right, but it's like, I'm just passionate.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not trying to hurt nobody.
Exactly. And then that's when you got to kind of like think about it, you know. Am I going to go back and forth with this person? Because they're going to read it wrong. That's why, for real, I hate, like, even though for us, it kind of works texting, but I hate texting because you put your own tone. Everybody put their own tone to it. So me and you beefing, and I say something, you may read it totally different than how I'm saying it, just because there's no tone. So, you know what I mean? For me, I'm all about picking up the phone. All right, let's go meet up. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm a big believer that if you love someone or you fuck with somebody, y'all can have that argument, y'all can have that beef, and dap it up and go about it. Or y'all have that beef for that situation. And we done. We good. Let's go drink now. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Nah.
So,
I feel like y'all should like I like this show because it's like
thank you.
A lot of people don't get down to sit and talk to somebody, especially like as young as you guys are. Like it's not publicized. Like you only see fucking Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
Like all that bullshit. Like this right here is lit. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that
this is love and life.
You feel me? Like yo, niggas argue all the time, my nigga, but we still good. Fuck you talking about, we ain't going nowhere. Like that. It's lit. People so quick to get in arguments. Oh, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? But like this, I feel like this should be on a bigger scale. Like it should be like, shit, put this on BT. You feel me? Like, I'm just saying. Like, see like that.
Yeah. So like.
So before you came, I'll talk about it. We argued right before y'all came.
Beefing.
We were beefing. And it was loud. It was, and
I was worried that you gonna walk up and hear us like.
And then like, fuck it. Then he would have been family for real.
Yeah.
I mean, family already, but fuck it. He just been family for real.
Yeah, those who know us and love us the most, they've seen us like have it out. Like, you know, we don't necessarily argue in front of everybody, but like, you know, it happens.
Y'all got this though. And I feel like everybody needs that something to bring them together. And like,
it really does.
This is like really our therapy.
Yeah, this is
it allows to kind of just talk about things and really go out there. I'm a big person that I'm gonna say whatever I say, right? And Dani may not like it or whatever, and I may need to speak to someone to be like, yo, I said this, for them to be like, you were wrong, and that may be easier. I mean, this is my best friend, so if she say I'm wrong and we're beefing, nah, you lying, like the fuck out of here. Yeah. But if someone else says it, it's like, yo, you right.
But what you don't understand, what people don't understand is the fact that like you can say that and she understands that because like it's so many women out here that you'll tell that to you. And they'll be like, they be so selfish in it, whereas though they want to be that person to be able to tell. And there's nothing wrong with that, but because they care for you so much, they want to be that person to be able to tell you you're wrong, and you understand it. But the fact that she can understand that, she can't be the one to tell you. You might have to ask somebody else and get it from somebody else. You ain't gonna always get it from her. You know what I'm saying?
It happens. And it happens on both sides sometimes too. And like I'm still like, it's still frustrating as hell though, because it'll be like, why is it that when I say it's a problem, but like when you guys say your LB is like
friends, like we together all the time.
It's
like
different context.
It's
like
objective.
For me, it's definitely objective. But for me, it's like maybe I cool down now, or maybe they can give me an example that you couldn't have given me to make me be like, oh shit, I didn't even think about it like that.
Well, shit, honestly, when you arguing, when we arguing about trying to be right, we both trying to be right.
Yeah.
You ask the outside source, they probably don't give no fucks about who right and wrong.
So
I'm gonna tell you what, you know what I'm saying?
Tell you who's right or wrong.
So like, if I'm arguing with you, of course I'm not gonna think you're right because I think I'm right.
Yeah.
Now somebody random like, shit, I want to be right, but fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not right.
And then see, even with that's why you got to make sure you speaking to the right people.
True, that's true.
Because you go to the wrong person, they're gonna add fuel to the fire.
They're gonna put the battery.
So I'm always gonna go to my man Eric, my LB, my best friend, or one of my best friends.
He gonna let you know when you're wrong.
I don't want my other best friends to get upset. Yeah, he gonna
let you know, like, nah, nigga, you're wrong.
Straight blunt all the time.
And like,
all the time.
And the great thing about E2 is like he like for like a good chunk of years, like when we were in college and stuff like that, like it was like we like the three amigos, like the three of us like lived together, like so he knows me, like he knows TJ well, he knows me well, so he knows like
that you be wrong.
Now you know.
I mean, listen.
All right. Okay.
Listen.
You get your.
I be wrong too. I'm with you. See,
you definitely.
That's a compromise.
All right, you be wrong a lot.
That's crazy to me.
A lot.
That is crazy to me.
So like, do y'all think that's a good thing to have that though? Because some people think they don't want to run that business.
Well, I think it's like
you gotta have the right person.
Yeah, it's the right person, and he still doesn't know everything. He's not there for every argument, but I think that I think it's beneficial. I think it doesn't mean, and it's not necessarily the case for every relationship, where if you have somebody who just knows both of y'all well, or even if not necessarily knows both of y'all well, but like we all got that one friend who's always gonna have no cut cards, gonna be like, listen, you fucked up, like you know, and they're gonna say it from a place of love, and they're gonna say it with even if they like they could say no, you know, the hell with him or whatever, like you could have that, but they're gonna be like, no, based on what you're telling me, you are wrong. And I think it's always good to have a friend or two that is always gonna or
therapist,
or like, you know, but it's good to have somebody who will keep it a buck with you, you know, and tell you when you're right, when you're wrong, when it comes to relationships. Now, I'm not a proponent. I'm not saying like you run out and tell everybody your business, because like when you're in a relationship or you're married, everything is not for everyone. But everybody needs a sounding board. Everybody needs somebody who's just willing to listen, even if it's just like to vent. Like I know TJ has called, you know, his brother, his best friend. I've called my best friend, one of my line sisters, to be like,
I call my mother for real.
Oh, see, yeah. Well,
but see,
I will say this.
The difference with that, my mother,
she's always on my side.
She's on Dani's side.
She tells me what's wrong all the time.
Yeah, probably 95% of the time.
99.
You probably
I'll give it that.
Like, why even call you?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I'd be like,
I still have a memory.
Nah, you're not understanding, Mom.
I still have a memory. I still have this like image in my head of one time when like me and TJ argued about something. We were in college, I think, and we went back. We were up visiting New York, and like we went to his parents' house afterwards. Like I guess we were supposed to go to a concert or something. We were beefing. And you know, I'm light skinned. I'm listen. You a Gemini? I'm a Cancer. I'm sensitive about my shit.
God.
So I'm very in tune with my emotions. So like as soon as they walked in, like you could tell I've been crying. And so I love my mother-in-law. I love my father-in-law to death. And like I was just kind of like giving them again like a surface level of like what's wrong, because clearly they can look and see something's wrong. And I never forget, like my father-in-law lit into him about like. Yeah. How he was treating me and how he was wrong, and so that's a very unique situation. And I'm not saying you invite everybody, your future in-laws and stuff in that. Like, they are a different breed, and we don't don't go there for everything. But I think it's always important. Period. Like in any friendship, in your life, you need somebody who is going to tell you when you're right and tell you when you're wrong,
and have your back.
So what's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
All right. I don't know.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
March 8th.
Oh, he's March 20th. Yeah.
I had my experience with cancers, and I can't do it. Like I don't think
we're great people.
I've been great friends with cancers, but I can't be in a relationship with a cancer. I don't know why. It's just,
all I know is the Pisces.
It's different month cancers though.
June and July cancers are very different, but I'll say this: I take a grain of salt with it because I know it's astrology, whatever. But with me and him, I think what works with us is like this. So you say like I'm a Cancer, he's a Pisces, so we're both water signs, right? So I look at it this way: when water is like flowing with each other, it's amazing. But when the waves start to crash against each other, then you get a tsunami. Mm-hmm. So we do have our tsunami moments, but then we also like when we vibing, like we're so in sync, and it's just and like that balance is perfect. And I think you know, my wifely advice to any single guy, whatever, is like like you said, you find somebody who brings you balance. You find somebody who that at the end of the day, after the arguments, after all is said and done, when you sit back and you think about it and you feel like life is better with them than without them, then that's how you know that they're the one.
Facts. I understand. I like that.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, like me, like 14 years, we've come to crossroads where we like, do we keep going or do we
drive to Baltimore one time?
He did. Oh yeah.
Because we were beefing and she said some shit that made me think we was breaking up. So I was like, fuck it. Told my pops, like, yo, I gotta go.
Do you think he love you more than, like, is that, you know how some people say a lot of women say you gotta find a man that love you more than you love him. Do you think that's because it seems like he really, like,
I think it's true.
He's fighting for you. Like, you feel me? Like, you ain't going nowhere.
No, and that's honestly, that's how I knew I could marry him. Because, like, I was, you know, so he grew up in a family where like people were together from like really young ages. Okay. I didn't like my parents ended up getting like divorced. Yeah, my parents got divorced when I was in college.
It does, but not 100%. So for me, it's so weird because it's like I see the couples, but I also kind of know things that I like. For me and her, just cool. Like, so a little backstory. When we first started messing or whatever, that didn't work out. We weren't in a relationship, but we were in a relationship. Something like that.
Play stuff, real high school.
But then when we so that didn't work out, and then when we started talking again, we had to build a relationship. So our relationship is built off of our friendship more than it is, you know what I mean?
Anything else?
Exactly. So I think that's the difference, you know? I want to compete against her, you know what I mean? I want to be competitive with her. I want to laugh with her. I want to joke with her. So I think that's the difference.
It's really like your best friend. Like, I'm definitely not trying to get rid of my best friend.
Like, exactly. Yeah. But because she is my best friend, she knows my buttons, and she, you know what I mean? So it's kind of that give and take. It's kind of that world of we know each other so well, and we know the shit that
it's a gift and a curse.
No, it's though. It's like I said, I don't understand how many people like look up to you. For real, like I'm one of them. Like I just met y'all, and I love it. Honestly, like
I feel like the roles are reversed. I feel like how you've done flipped the script, and now we get an interview. Like you,
because it's dope. Like you feel me? Like y'all are dope.
Well, thank you.
We
trying out here.
This new cool man.
We trying because, I mean, we're just living our lives, and I think that and I can't remember the point I was gonna get to, but I think saying like, you know, just knowing how he felt about me, and like that was something that kind of knowing how strongly he felt about me at such a young age was one of the reasons why like I felt confident like riding this thing till the wheels fall off, because it wasn't like he was just trying to string me along. And I'll admit, like in the beginning when we were younger, like sometimes it was a little jarring. It would be like, yo, like he's like 17, and like we were like in high school, and he'd be like,
"You're it."
He's like, you it," and I'm like,
no time.
Just like he knew he wanted to get
I'm like, excuse me.
Time to play games.
I was like, excuse me, I'm sorry, like me, like that's it, like you want to spend your life with me, like we're kids. And he was like, yeah, like, you know, there was no hesitation in how he felt. So in the beginning, like that was kind of scary for me, because I grew up in a family where it was just like, no, you date, you go, you know, you see what's out there, and you know, then you eventually meet somebody, get married, and go on about your business. So
but y'all daughter's gonna be like that though.
Yeah,
because she's gonna grow up seeing y'all.
I think, but you know, she might. But then I think neither of us are gonna ever tell her like, you gotta like find the one when you're not. We, you know, we always try to
have fun.
Yeah, like we're gonna say like we're
because we're not the, you know what I mean, we're not the rule.
We're the exception.
It worked out for us, and it may not work for everybody. And you know, it depends on where you're at in your life, your maturity level, what you want. You know what I mean, and it just so happened to work out for us well, you know. But we like to be able to tell our story and kind of be real, because life can be harsh. Life can be harsh, you know, and you know, stuff. Same way how you can put out your tweets and you can talk about the shit that you went through, but how you overcame. It's the same thing, you know. You know, I understand things differently. I used to hear stuff like people be like, when you have a kid, it's gonna be so hard. Mother used to always say that. If you want to break up a relationship, have a kid. And I never understood it.
Damn.
I could never understand or really comprehend it. But then once I had a child, I understood it. Because dynamics change, you know. There was shit that we didn't talk about parenting that made me say, oh shit, can this be an argument? You know, and that's typically what happens. You have arguments and you have fights because shit isn't what y'all thought, or y'all didn't even talk about it, you know what I mean? And then sometimes people have kids trying to save their relationship, and then that fucks it up even more.
That's always a fail.
So it's different things, or you know, there's been someone like, I'm gonna keep the baby because that's gonna keep us together. Nah, you just ruined the relationship
and the baby fucking.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing for me. I want to be able to kind of just tell people the real, like this shit isn't easy. Being married isn't easy, but it's doable. You know what I mean? It's something like a job, but it's not a job. Like you have to work on it. Like every day, like you can't take days off of being married. You can't pick and choose when you want to be married. You can't pick and choose when you want to please your wife, and you know what I mean. You can't treat her like shit 3 days out of the week, and then the other days you want to be cool with her. You know what I mean?
You know what it sounds like? So like I'm big on that with myself, right? Like period. Like you can't treat yourself like shit. You can't take days off from yourself. I feel like you gotta like literally take treat your marriage like you would treat yourself. Like honestly, because I'm always in the mirror thinking about how can I make myself a better person.
Mm-hmm.
So like now you gotta be in the mirror like, yo, how can I make my wife happier? Or how can I make my relationship better every day? Like you can't take a day off. It's not one day that I don't think about making J Hill a better J Hill. You know what I'm saying? It's not one day, like
that's
ever.
A good way to
you
look
know what I'm
at
saying?
it.
So
that's
like,
definitely because it's always about growth. It's about progress, and like I said, like it's not a job, but it's work. Like being a better person, the best version of yourself. It's not a job, but it's work. Like it doesn't happen overnight. And
I'm sorry, like it's funny, right? A lot of people don't know this. Like I was recently, like I had got into it at a club or whatever, and so I host that club, but I'm not the biggest club. I don't care about it. Like I'm not really big on it. So this dude like testing me, right? And like I'm a firecracker. Like I'm not with this shit. Like I'm ready to fight so quick. But I walked away, and like I swear to God, I sat in the car and I cried because I walked away because I wanted to fight him that bad. Like, and then I was telling my friend like, yo, I think I need to see a therapist because like you should feel good that you walked away. Like, yo, I just walked away from something like that's lit. Like I ain't go back to my old self, but I was so hurt that I didn't punch him in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's how it is with relationships. With getting better, it's not easy.
It's
like,
a growing pain.
Yeah,
it hurts.
It's like lifting weights, right? Yeah. Like when you work out, you in the gym. And your body started growing, so your body started aching. You know what I'm saying? You sore because your body is growing. And, like, that's how it is. Like, these pains that come from relationships, from being a better person, is because you're growing as a person. Yeah. So, like...
You remind me...
Listen, that's dope.
What you said just reminded me of one of my students, and he's like, my problem child. And I'm like...
He's probably one of the dopest students, though.
But, like, I've literally, like, I have talked to him. I mean, he gets so angry sometimes. And, like... He'll be like he'll say not to me, but he's like said to like some of our male like teachers like I want to hit you so bad, like I want to fight you so bad, and he stops himself, but like he's in tears because he's so angry, but he knows he can't. He stopped himself, and it's like all these like emotions, and and I keep telling him, and like I tell him all the time, I'm like, yo, I see you in 10 years, 15 years from now, and I'm like, you're going to come back here and you're going to be like talking to these same knucklehead boys that were you when you were this age. And I'm like, it just reminded me of that, because like that walking away, that taking the high road, it's never like it's so tough. Like I like the saying. I always like quotes and stuff like that. And like one of my favorite quotes is like, what's right and doing what's easy is usually never the same thing. Like doing what's easy is like doing what's right is very rarely ever the easy choice.
Yeah, it's always hard.
Yeah. It's always hard.
It's always hard. Like,
and it's like,
but as you grow,
it becomes easy.
Yeah. Shit becomes different.
What? Like it's like
your views become different. Feel me? You have more to lose now than you probably did a year ago.
Mm-hmm. And it's repetition. So it's like, think about it. These NFL players, right? If you give their everyday workout regimen to a regular person that's in high school, they're gonna think it's hard. But to that NFL player, it's like, I do this every day.
Exactly.
Like me speaking on a radio without stuttering. You know what I'm saying? Like I still mess up sometimes, but on a regular person or average person will be like, yo, what the hell? You can never have me read this or give me something to speak about, and I just speak it straight through because they don't have to do it every day. It's repetition. And then when you're a professional at something, you repeat it so much that it looks easy. Even when they say working out, like they say you're not working out. It's not a good workout if it don't look easy, because you want it to look smooth, like you've been here before. Yeah. And like that's like the relationships, you can compare it to so many things, but like I said, the fact that y'all stick in it, this is lit. Like y'all should put this on YouTube. Like, I'm trying to tell you, like that's a new wave.
That's the goal. We're
working on building it, and and trying to find different ways to be able to get it out there. You know,
man, you said it. Like you said, he does it right. Just do it. Like honestly, just go get a camera. Like literally, go get a camera. Put up. You got iPhones. Like we shooting 4K now. Like it's 4K. It's 1080p. That's what the he's a videographer. He'll tell you it's 1080p. Okay. It's regular in my line. Like regular.
Y'all speaking his language now.
No, I'm serious. So you get a tripod from Walmart.
So the crazy thing was, before y'all came, I was looking up like webcam.
He definitely was looking at cameras.
Shit like that, because again, with us doing the podcast, it's literally been just research, like looking up shit, trying shit, figuring things out, and then working it from there. So it's like, how do I get the videos? You know what I mean? Most people, like, the bigger people, they have like videographers, or they'll have, you know, studios that have it in there. But you know what I mean? We are normal people, man, who's trying to make it work.
Get a tripod from Walmart, I swear. On your phone, put it right here, just put it on YouTube. You'd be surprised at people, even if you get 10 views, one, like,
nah, definitely.
I'm trying to tell you, like, this is dope, because, like, people need to see this, man, like, on some serious. I want to bring y'all my show, like, because people,
well, gladly,
people don't see the behind the scenes, the hard work that you got to put in for relationships. Like, yo, like, like, we gotta create this new even this new.
We gotta change the narrative.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like,
definitely. Well, listen, you're right, and like I know, and he's definitely on it. Like, this is the tech brains, so, and he's not lying. He, like, literally before y'all walked in, like, his screen was all cameras, so we like we can.
I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna have to talk to you.
Damn. All right. So look, all that being said, you ready to go at it?
I mean, if you wanna, if you want to, and you wanna lose, go ahead.
First of all, okay, wait. So don't judge me, but
no, judge her, judge her.
No, you're not gonna judge. So listen, we don't. So like,
we're gonna go into our Lovers Quarrel.
He hasn't mastered like sound bites yet, so I do all the sound bites for the Lovers Quarrel part.
She thinks she's Biz Marquee out.
So I'll be like, ding ding ding, fight. And
what else? Go ahead.
That's supposed to be Rocky, but I think it's
terrible.
Price is Right. I can't.
it is Price. It is Price is Right.
First of all, but you're still a hater.
Nah, I mean, you said the people like it.
And then we're gonna do.
So we're gonna let the people like it, but it's still the worst thing ever.
What was I adding? I did Mortal Kombat. So whoopsie, and then
oh my.
So she just want to throw a whole bunch of things in there.
So lots of fighting sounds I made.
Yeah, exactly.
Get over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. What was that? Sub-Zero?
No.
That was Scorpion. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Scorpion.
Scorpion. This is
Scorpion.
Yeah, who be like, get over here. Yeah. The little spear come out his hand.
Exactly.
All right, so go ahead. Make your noises. Go ahead.
Well, I kind of did it already.
Okay, so you're not going to do it again? Thank God. All right.
So we could kind of two-part this, and Jay, you know, again, this is a conversation.
So for the quarrel is apologizing enough. I don't even know what that means, so I'm gonna let you.
My live is apologizing enough.
So
I'm gonna let you go with that, because this is
this man I married here oftentimes says the best apology is like changed behavior.
True. Facts.
But I feel like, but the question is like, is apologizing enough? If you really feel like somebody is genuinely sorry, and let's say they're not, this is not like a repeat offender type of situation. Like, this is not, you say you're sorry, same shit over and over again. Let's say this is like just something happens.
Like one-off situation.
Sure.
One-off, yes.
Is a genuine apology enough?
Yes.
Or even if it's like I don't know. Like, I don't want to say like it's a repeat offender, but it's somewhere in between. Like,
if it's a repeat offender,
it's happened occasionally.
Happen more than once in a repeat offender.
Exactly. So it can't. You can't occasionally do something and then be like, I apologize, and expect that person to be like, all right, cool.
Okay, so what?
First time maybe, second time okay, third time, fourth time, fifth time. Now you just repeating it. So you're taking my kindness for weakness.
That's a hard question though. Jeez.
Isn't it?
Because I just was saying like how I'm still learning stuff that I done made the same mistake over and over. I'm still learning stuff from. So it's
but if you're like really sorry,
and see,
how do you know?
As we were saying earlier, I got to see other insights. You know. So I'll give you that.
So if I say it's a problem, but when Jay say no,
like so, but
I'm saying that it makes sense. So but even with that, I do feel like I've gotten better with accepting your repeat offenses.
And I think sometimes for you, it's like sometimes he'll kind of change his tune a little bit or like do something a little bit differently that I might have taken issue with, but like you don't apologize. And like for me, and like so.
Okay.
Oh, so you don't apologize?
I feel like I do apologize,
sometimes.
But like let's explain it. So
go ahead.
If I'm gonna apologize, it's like give me some time, like. Because if I'm gonna tell you, like, if you want an apology, I can give you an apology. But there's been times I've given apologies and she'd be like, "I like the way you said it," pretty much. So now in my mind, I want to apologize. I mean, like, I'm going to apologize. You're not going to accept my apology, so you really don't want my apology because it didn't come out the way you expected it to come out.
Somebody call me.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So it is about. It's not always about what you say; it's how you say it. That matters, it matters how you say it. And you can't have been beefing for 45 minutes straight, and then finally when I'm
sorry, yo.
Thank you. Oh my, that's what you sound like, and that's why I'm like, you don't mean that shit. You don't mean it. You just try to shut me up, and that is why.
Because that apology is like, you know what? We're beefing. We're not getting nowhere.
So you're just trying to shut me up.
I'm not. It's kind of like I conceded. For me,
you know what? You're just tired.
Nah,
my bad.
For me, I am.
I feel like if it's not any self-admittance in it, and sincere, it's probably not a real apology. So you should probably just wait on it.
Okay.
Then wait on it. Like, if you don't feel as though you was wrong at that point in time, what you think about what you did, then apologize. Then of course the person may accept it better.
Yeah, because I think, and that's the thing. Like, it has to be sincere, and I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it's apologizing enough. So a lot of times for me, an apology is all I'm looking for. Like, I don't, like, he always talks about how, like, I accept him for who he is, whatever. I don't expect perfection from him. He's very much who he is, and I can't change him. It's been 14 years. There's certain things about TJ that's just not going to change, and I accept it.
That's crazy to me.
But it's not
changed
that.
A lot, yo.
Come on, you gotta get his man some credit.
You're right.
Changed a lot.
14 years, he ain't changed.
That's crazy.
He has changed.
That is crazy.
He has changed.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Listen, don't be trying. They're not gonna gang up on me. On
no, we're getting up. Listen, we've been on your side the whole time.
All right. Listen. So what I'm saying though is that sometimes it's like I accept him for who he is or what he's done, and even though like there's these sides of him that aren't the best, that you know, like the fact that he's so loud and animated. So sometimes even though like in the moment like I feel like he's like yelling at me, even though I know it's just him being loud. That's who he is. You know. It's like come back later. Yeah, I'm human. Yeah. Like come back later and be like, babe, I'm sorry for how I talked to you. And
y'all all heard that, right? So she said I can come back later and apologize.
You did the other day.
I'm just saying. So if I do that again,
but did I accept your
apology? Accept it. You did.
So the apology you gave me the other day, where you can't. We took a nap because sometimes you just need to sleep on it.
You do.
And then you came in and you were like, I'm sorry for how I talked to her. I'm sorry for that was an apology. And so for me, yeah, a lot of times apologizing is enough as long as it's sincere. Gotcha. If you really mean it, then that's like that shows remorse.
But for me, sometimes when I'm conceding, I really do mean it. It may not come out that way, right. But it's kind of like, damn, we're just going back and forth. We're not really getting nowhere. Maybe I am wrong. And that's I can see that. No, I can see that. That's just some self-reflection, like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes before I wouldn't have conceded.
Now
this is a battle, and we're going to the depths of it.
Because I think I'm right, but I can't see that. But at the same time, you do have to understand like your wife, because like it's not even just your wife. You gotta understand if it was you. You like, nah, nigga, fuck that. You don't mean that. So I was like, I get what both of y'all saying. Like, but like, so like, only thing I'm gonna say is your approach. It's like it's not what you say. It's how you say it, right? Mm-hmm. So if he says that and you don't believe him, just let him know like, all right, I understand you might really be sorry. But you gotta understand that like you ain't really say it in the way that I believed it. You get what I'm saying? So you might have to walk away and be like, yo, look, you did say you said, but I ain't really believe it. And I'm not saying that you lying, but you ain't really say it in the most persuasive way. You know what I'm saying? I think it's both.
I like that. I like that. Take some ownership. You know what I mean? You gotta take some ownership. Sometimes you gotta be like, you know what?
It's both of us though.
You could be, I didn't accept it. I can say like, you might be sorry. It just didn't sound like he was sorry.
Yeah. So I need some time.
Okay.
So then,
but
I agree with that.
I think it's if we be more understanding to each other. Like for example, right? He gets loud. You know he gets loud, but because you're human, you might just don't be patient one day and be like, nigga, who you think you talking to?
Every time.
So hold up. But let's say it goes from every time to like 3 out of 10 or 3 out of 5 arguments, right? Mm-hmm. He knows that it'll be every time, but now he sees 3 out of 5. Now, just like it's on you to understand, he might be yelling sometimes. It's on him to understand that he might be yelling sometimes, and you might just not be with it at that time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that balance though, because like it's only so much I can take. So it's like, yeah, that's just him. I get it.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. Like there's been and that's why I'm a proponent of picking and choosing your battle. So for me, picking and choosing is being like, I know I feel like he's coming at me sideways, but I know he's like he's just a loud person, so I'm not gonna like read into this as much, or I'm gonna like keep my composure on it. But then there's other times where I'm like, you know what, my schedule, I'm clearing my schedule. Like, you want to go, let's go. Like, you know, and like that was before y'all showed up. Like, that was like, you know what, I got time today. Right. So like, let's have it out.
Listen, we're human, so
we are. So
it's apologizing enough.
For me, if it's sincere and it's said meaningfully and with heart, yes.
It's scenario based for me.
I take that too.
Different scenarios.
Definitely, because you can't say that for every single thing. If you say that for every single thing, some things out there you can like.
You're right. I know. Well, listen. So like,
scenario
if you get an extreme, okay. My extremes are always, again, you know, I'm a simple girl. My cheat or beat. Those are the things that you can't apologize for. You cheat on me, you beat on me, emotionally, physical, whatever. Like that, we ain't coming back.
So it's scenario based. Yeah.
Those are like really extreme scenarios. I'm flexible with everything within that. Like,
to you, it's extreme.
Yeah.
So I feel like we all agreeing on this.
Yeah, we definitely, we like different chapters of the same book.
Right.
All right. So, well, that was a nice short call. Do you want to still?
This was great. We're gonna have to definitely bring them back on.
Yeah.
We're gonna definitely have to bring them back.
I don't know what time are we at?
I don't even know.
It's in seconds. I don't even know. It's 2,000.
Not doing bars and beats. Oh. We somewhere. We've been conversing. We've been having some good conversations. Thank you to J Hill. Yeah. We appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on.
Plug your.
Yeah, where can people find you?
Information.
You don't ever, they just come seek you out?
Nah, you can follow me, Mr. J Hill. Like, I'm always like, yo, shot yourselves out. You feel me? Like,
nah.
They know where to find. Well, yeah. Like right now they gonna
know where to find us at. But you can find him at Mr. J Hill. I'm gonna do it for him. Feel me?
Appreciate you, bro.
We're gonna do that. Also, inside the bio, it will have all the information, so you can follow him, reach out to him.
I can't wait to this.
So you know, and then he also has on the April 22nd. He has a ghostwriter showcase. So
y'all should come out if y'all want. I will ask y'all to do media, but because y'all is only relationship based.
Well, I mean,
y'all still can come out though.
So
yeah, listen.
So we're gonna go the 22nd. So beat us there.
Yeah, and if you say you came because you heard this, you come for free.
Oh, okay. So, all right. We make sure we put that out there too.
So make sure y'all add them and be like, we heard this. So,
exactly.
So look out for us.
No backsies.
Facts.
And for that, we want to thank y'all for listening.
As always, this is your girl Dani.
And this is your guy TJ.
Another episode of Lovers Quarrel in the bag, and as always, we fuss,
we fight, but we love.
Bye.
All right, y'all.
This is lit. I like this, man.